Hey fam, what's good? It's Victoria, aka Sister Vic. Welcome back to Blessed Dressed. And today I just want to do an Easter weekend recap. I just want to reminisce a little because sometimes you have those experiences that you can't forget and you just keep reminiscing and you just want to relive them over and over again. So that's what I want to do today. So full disclosure, guys, do you know that I did not know what Easter was until 10th grade in high school? Honest truth. And I was, raised in a Christian home, really a church going home at the time before we became Christians. But I didn't know what it was. I just saw all the chocolate and the Easter bunnies and whatever. And I just assumed it was, some other holiday. And it just goes to show how much the things of God are watered down. And it's so sad. Over time, it just loses its meaning and you lose touch with that. So I didn't know what it was until one Sunday coming from church. My dad was like, oh, it's Easter Sunday, so we want to pray together and thank God. You know what Easter is, right? And I was like, no. And he was like, yeah, we're celebrating the fact that Jesus Christ came, he died, and he rose again. The fact that he resurrected is the game changer. It means that there's hope for new life. It means that there's hope for all the old things to be passed away and for us to be made new creatures in him and have a relationship with God. And so I was like, oh, snap. So I just want to say that in case there's any of you out there who don't really know what Easter is about. So a friend, a brother in the Lord, invited me and another brother and sister to sing with him, back him up and sing alongside him at a concert at his friend's church. So I agreed. Me and the other sis didn't know what to wear, so I asked her what she was wearing and she said either a white shirt with a black blazer or she might go with a red shirt, maybe with her black blazer. So I was like, all right, bet, let me take cues from you. And so I was looking for something like black, white, red. To be honest, when I was young, my mom drilled it into my head that, no, you can't wear white. White will stain, white will get dirty. And so it still sticks with me today and I'm afraid of wearing white. So I was going to wear a white shirt, but I was like, nah, we're not gonna do that. I don't want any armpit stains. So I went with a black shirt, kind of transparent, and I just went with a nude tone undergarments so that it'll blend right in. And then I have a blazer on top, red blazer with a black detail, black, what do you call it, the lapel, I guess. I got this blazer from my sister-in-law and namesake a couple years ago, and this is the first time I'm wearing this blazer. And y'all, I'm like, why did I take so long to wear this? You ever have clothes like that? That you have those clothes that you never wear them, and you know why you never wear them. It doesn't fit right, or it doesn't look right, or it doesn't feel right. You don't have anything that matches, but you have those items that you're like, why did I take so long to wear this? And I really love it. I love the fit. I love how it sits on my shoulders and makes them look broad. And to be honest, the black shirt that I was wearing under kind of had some puffy shoulders too, so it even emphasized the broadness of the shoulder part a little more. And I like that. It looked kind of stately. Now, of course, the arms were too short because I am a tall woman, relatively speaking. I'm 6 feet tall. And so I run into this issue a lot. So what do? I scrunch up the arms, and I wanted to make it look intentional. So I didn't just bunch up the arms, but I kind of pulled out the black shirt from underneath to show a little bit. I don't know if that was working or not. I left the blazer open. Leaving blazers open are an easy way to kind of make all blazers, or at least increase the likelihood for a blazer to work well for you. When you close the blazer, that's when it's pinching or it's too tight, or maybe it works when you close the one button but not the other button at the top, or maybe now all of a sudden it's squeezing your cleavage or whatever. But leaving the blazer open, there's so much possibility there, and it's just an easygoing overall look. I paired it with one of my favorite pairs of jeans because the other sis said she was wearing jeans. So I was like, all right, I'm wearing jeans too. These jeans are so stretchy and comfortable. They're tall, so they're long enough for me, and they're curvy. And so they're slimmer at the waist and wider at the hips, which is exactly what I need. They are a bit on the snug side. So I just have to calculate my cycle and wear them when I'm not bloated. Hello, do you know what I'm talking about? and I wore short but not too short black pointed heel. Not too short because sometimes the kitten heels, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, sometimes they look a little granny-like. Funny thing is I decided to wear heels because I remember that the last time I sang with this same sister, she wore heels and I didn't, and I was kind of feeling like, oh dang, maybe I should have worn heels. Funny thing is, for this program, she came and she wore some sparkly flats because she was like, oh girl, I know you don't like to wear heels. You didn't wear heels last time. And I was like, I wore heels because you wore heels last time. But I think they went well anyway, and I'm so glad that these heels were comfortable because I'm telling you, at this program, it was a concert. I was standing, I was jumping, I was marching, I was laying down on the floor. It was truly an amazing experience. My jewelry here, the earrings I got from my mom, just kind of snagged them from her jewelry cupboard, you know what I'm talking about. And on the one side, on the right side, I paired it with a back that kind of has some stones at the bottom. It's unfortunate that the look didn't really work how I wanted it to. The stones should have been like further down on my ear so you can really appreciate them, but whatever. And I only have one because what happened was I actually bought a pair of earrings that both had that back, and then I lost one of them, but I liked it so much that I'm like, I don't want to just not use it. So every now and then I'll just rock it on the one side. The two gold tone bracelet with the dull gold paired with the shinier gold, I also got that from my mom. And the other bracelet with the Cartier, she got that for me. So a lot of times, so jewelry and perfume, those are things that I don't like spending a lot of money on them. Really, I don't like spending a lot of money on almost any kind of like clothing. I'll spend a little more on shoes. Not that I don't buy them. Oh, I buy them. I shop, but I just don't like to spend a lot of money on. Everybody has that thing that, you know, they want to spend more money on, and I prefer to spend more on traveling, really, and experiences. So a lot of times with my jewelry, you'll hear that I'm getting them from other people, mostly my mom in love or my mom. The necklace, it was one Sunday after church that I just noticed, like on the side of the street, a lady had set up shop with all this jewelry, and it was a black woman. I was like, let's stop and see what she's doing. And so she was selling all this jewelry, and I was like, hey, I want to support what she's doing. And it was cheap. It was $5 each. So I got it because it's the only necklace that I have that's like that, that's so long with such a large pendant, and I just think it makes a great statement and it stands alone well. And I thought about pairing it with another shorter necklace or pair of necklaces up top, or wearing some other rings, but I was like, you know what? I'm appreciating just the, you know, going on the more simple side and the no fuss look.
Your breath. It's your breath in our lungs, so we pour out our praise, It's your breath in our lungs. Yeah, I gotta slow down. We pour out our praise to you.
Now the program itself. Guys, this program, it was just amazing. The presence of God was really there. It was really palpable. And, you know, I say these phrases to describe it with caution because I know we're fond of using these phrases in church, right? You know, we're fond of saying like, oh, you know, we like terms like it was glorious, it was power packed, you know, the spirit filled and things like that. But can we just be honest? Is it just me? A lot of times I feel like it was a degular program, and the only thing that changed was our semantics. The only thing that changed was the words that we're using to describe it. But it felt very regular. This was one of those few things that I attended that I felt like it really lived up to the name. You know what I'm saying? Like it really lived up to those descriptions. Where it was like, no, really, I do feel like God's presence. Like, what is this that I'm feeling like bubbling up within my soul? What is this joy that I'm feeling right now? The motivation that I'm feeling right now to pray through these songs, to sing through these songs, not just during our segment when we were singing and ministering, but the other segments when the other ministers were doing their thing and praising God. Even the band, my goodness, like it was truly an amazing experience, and I just want to close my eyes and relive it and relive it and relive it. I mean, the songs, the talent was there. And sometimes you have one of two things. You have those programs or those groups or choirs or whatever where the talent is there, but the Spirit of God really isn't. It feels like maybe there's more focus on all the technicalities and the details and the lights and the this than actually trying to get into God's presence and like just have us like lose ourselves, forget about all our issues, forget about ourselves, forget about all of our cares and just give it all to God. And then there are other times where maybe there is more of that focus on like giving it to the Lord, but music isn't the strong suit. I don't know how to say it. It's like the talent really is, the surrender is there. You know, the the submission to the Lord is there. The outpouring of our hearts is there, but the voice or the musicality is not. And this was just a beautiful merging of the two where really both were there in high effect. Not to say that, you know, even me, I can think of times where I made a couple mistakes. Probably nobody else noticed while I was singing. Or, you know, not to say that there was no hiccup or no focus on technicality, but it was a beautiful merger. And man, like, at one point I was just laid out, like I didn't care. I was just laid out. You know, I had my scarf in case there were some angry ushers. Let me not say angry, you know, in case anybody was worried. I had my scarf, I just draped it over myself. I was just laid out. I wasn't thinking about anything. There were times I was advancing towards the altar. I was lifting my hands, I was jumping. A lot of times, you know, we want to be free in God's presence, but we're still thinking about maybe our clothes didn't let us be free. I'm so glad I chose comfortable jeans. I chose clothing that was like fully covered. I didn't have to worry about, oh, I'm lifting my hands and something else is showing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was such an amazing time, and it's a beautiful thing for me to experience on Easter weekend, especially being someone that didn't grow up knowing even what Easter was. And so I find myself kind of constantly struggling to build a culture around this holiday that I didn't really grow up with like that. And it was just a great thing for me to be able to experience that. And I find myself, let me just say, and it was such a great thing for me to experience that. Thank you guys for stepping into my world, listening to me rant on and on. I hope this was encouraging to you. God is still moving. There are still programs and concerts and venues out there where He's meeting with us. And I hope that you get to have an experience like that very soon. God bless you. I hope your Easter was wonderful, and I hope your days ahead are beautiful and that you continue to celebrate the resurrection of Christ. And if you like this video, then like this video. Bye.